everyone, my name is Justin, and we're going to be doing a cool game exploring the fun functions of our liver and how we can love our liver by making cool and healthy choices. And there will be prizes if you want to give it a try. Would anybody like to give it a shot?
Come here.
Yeah, come on down.
I'll try.
All right, what's your name?
Louise Tillman.
Louise Tillman. So we're going to have you do a little big game here.
Okay.
But first, what do you know about our liver? Is there anything that you know that it does?
Clean the blood out.
A little bit,
know.
yeah. It's basically
know.
one of its main jobs is to process things in our blood, like different nutrients and toxins.
Okay.
Sometimes it repackages it for the rest of the body to use, or sometimes it breaks it down and helps it eliminate it from our bodies. So yeah, you're exactly right. That's one of its functions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at how our liver processes those nutrients and toxins, or like you said, clean the blood, right? So we're going to use this Plinko board as a little model. And what I'm going to have you do is pick out one blue paperclip, which represents water, and also one black puck, which represents sugar or alcohol. Our body processes sugar and alcohol in much the same way.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Oh,
yeah.
it is?
What did you notice? The blue paperclip versus the
It
black
got there
puck?
first.
The blue paperclip got there first.
Yeah.
And so if that represents water in our liver, kind of what that shows visually is that it flushes out our liver and helps it process things, right? So when we stay well hydrated, that helps us deliver nutrients to our liver and the rest of our bodies and helps flush things through, right? So it goes through a lot quicker. The black puck, right, represents sugar or alcohol, and we can process that in small amounts, right? But it's a little bit harder for our liver to process that. So what do you think would happen if we dropped through maybe about 5 or 6 of those pucks at once? What do you think would happen?
Oh, it would be too much for your liver to do it, won't it?
Right, yeah, they probably bounce off each other quite a bit. They might even get stuck, right? Which is exactly what happens with sugar or alcohol. If we have a lot in one sitting, what'll happen is it'll actually get stuck in our livers as fat. Our liver will process that and try to get rid of it as fast as it can, but if there's too much, it'll deposit as fat in our liver. And eventually, over time, that can cause fatty liver disease or inflammation, or even a form of hepatitis, not the viral form that we always think of.
Okay.
That just means that it makes it hard for our liver to do its job.
Well, what else does the liver do?
I'm glad you asked. So the liver does 2 more things besides processing those nutrients and toxins in our blood. So it also actually helps us create bile. So bile is just a substance that helps our digestive system. It'll go into our digestive system and help us absorb different vitamins and fats and other nutrients as well. So it's super important for our bodies. It also stores energy. So carbohydrates will actually be stored in the liver. So whenever we're low on energy, our brain will call 1-800-LIVER and say, hey, send out some blood sugar. And the liver will actually do that because the brain needs those carbohydrates to function, and without it, we would flat out pass out. So it's super important to keep that liver functioning and healthy. Yeah, so knowing this, what do you think would be healthy for our livers? What do you think would be a good way to love your liver?
Well, I guess eat the right food and drink a lot of water to keep it kind of flushed out.
Yeah, drinking plenty of water can help not only keep us hydrated, but flush things through our system, helps deliver nutrients to our liver and our blood, right? Eating the right foods, as you said. One thing in particular we can do, right, is not get too much sugar or alcohol, and even getting the right kinds of fats in our diet. Have you ever heard of anything called saturated fat?
Yes.
Yeah, do you know what it's in?
No.
It tends to be in things like a lot of animal products, especially things like red meat and cheese, which is why they say to not get too much of those, and butter, right? So you can have those, like sugar and alcohol, in moderation, but if we have too much, it can be difficult for our body to process, right? And so we want to make sure that we're getting the right kinds of fats too. water, limit
Exercise and
sugar.
drink more water.
All right.
I didn't know exercise really did anything for your liver. I thought it was for the heart.
Yeah, it actually does both, right?
Okay.
So just having that general circulation through our bodies is good, and it's good for our heart and our liver. It's good for a lot of different things.
I
So.
didn't know that.
Each of these food items is broken down into 15 grams of carbohydrate, which gives us a balanced amount of blood sugar in our bodies, right? And so if we're eating a meal, ideally what we want to do is have about 30 to 45 grams of carbohydrate for those that are women and 40 to 60 grams for those who are men. You can almost think of it as a clock and break it up into 15-minute increments, right? So if you were to choose 2 or 3 of these items and to get 45 grams of carbohydrate, what would it be?
Well, I would take the chicken, the
The
fish,
fish sticks, okay.
and the corn.
Okay.
What's-
That would be about 30
what's
grams
that?
of carbohydrate. That's jelly.
No, I want no jelly. And maybe the juice.
The juice. All right. So building that all up, we do have 45 grams of carbohydrate, right? So that would be the right amount of carbohydrate for a meal. However, can I show you something real quick?
Yeah.
So if we did like a whole fruit, let's say we have these blueberries or maybe a whole orange to compare to this glass of juice. Maybe I'll have you bring that forward, that glass. If you notice, you can get a lot more bang for your buck, or you can eat a lot more of these blueberries without getting too many carbohydrates. So it's a lot
Okay.
easier to balance your meal without getting too many carbohydrates or too much fuel. What's
Okay.
also nice about the whole fruit, whether it's an orange or blueberries, is that it has fiber, and that fiber will naturally help us keep our blood sugar at a medium level by slowing down the absorption of those sugars and keeping it even. So it's always a good thing if we can eat the whole fruit, if it's available, right?
Okay.